So, Carlee Russell, did she go missing? Did she fake going missing? Like, what is going on? Carlee Russell, a 25-year-old nurse student in Hoover, Alabama, was reported missing on July 13th, 2023, while driving on the side of the road after she called 911 claiming to see a child on the road. So police respond, go down to where she made the call, and find out that she's gone too. So they're trying to do an investigation because the 911 call lasted only 2 minutes. The call was at 9:34. 9:36, the call stops. They get to the scene of the crime, and all of a sudden, there's no Carlee Russell. So for 48 hours, over 48 hours, she was missing until 48 hours later. Like I said, she comes home and calls the police stating that she made it home. So the parents take her to the hospital because they think that she needs to be mentally evaluated. So come to find out, the police is still doing an investigation on, obviously, how did she go missing within a 2-minute time frame? Where did she go? Where was she the past 48 hours? What did she do leading up to her kidnapping, quote unquote? And they're still doing an investigation on it. So with this going on, they check her phone, and there were some pretty unusual searches in her phone before the time that she had went missing. So one of the searches on July 11th, 2023 at 7:30, she searches up on her phone, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? That sounds weird, right? I know, to me that sounds weird. That was 2 days before her apparent kidnapping, right? The day of, July 13th at 1:03 a.m., she searches up how to take money from a register without being caught. Come to find out, she took money from her job that she was working at a local spa, right? That sounds weird. So another one at 2:35 a.m., July 13th, she searches up a one-way ticket from Birmingham to Nashville with a departure date of the same day that she goes missing. Kind of weird, right? Like the police is thinking. So then also at 12:10, 9 hours before her disappearance, she searches up the movie Taken. So all of these searches came either 2 days before her going missing and the same day of her going missing. So the police is thinking, like, what is going on? If she apparently went missing, why is there a coincidence in her phone with all of these searches on basically how to go missing, right? So they do an even deeper dive. Like I said, they're trying to figure out, what did she do? At the scene, like, what happened before, what happened in the 48 hours that she was missing. So Carlee Russell tells police that when she saw the baby on the road, as she was trying to help the baby, take her to safety or whatever, she was confronted by a man wearing orange hair coming out of the woods. She was then forced into a car with a female accomplice. She then states that she escaped the man in orange hair, but she gets recaptured and taken into a hotel room where she is then stripped naked and all of this stuff. So then she also states, after all of that happened, I guess they were in a car in the West Hoover, Alabama area, and she escapes and runs into the woods, and then finds her house and basically calls the police and tells them that that's what happened. First off, where it doesn't make sense is, how do you escape and then get recaptured by the same person, and you're now taken into a spot where you're stripped naked? Like, okay, that's throwing me off. Then number two, her search is saying How to Pay for an Amber Alert, the movie Taken, a one-way ticket from Birmingham to Nashville with the departure date of the same day that she goes missing. Then there's surveillance footage from her jobs, and it literally shows her taking money from the register, and she searches up on her phone how to take money from a register without getting caught, right? The story doesn't end there. Come to find out, today, as I am recording this, her defense attorney claims that this all was a hoax. Her going missing for 48 hours, that was a hoax. Her seeing a baby on the road, that was all a hoax. There was no baby on the road. There was no man and no orange hair with a bald spot in the, like, there was none of that. It was just all was a hoax. So now you have people nationwide hearing about this case, hearing that it's a hoax, and are basically saying like, hey, there are so many other kidnappings in this world. And the fact that she made a fake report, a false report, something needs to happen here. She needs to go to jail, get a fine for making a false kidnapping report. Something needs to happen. That is what the world is stating. And here's my opinion on it. I feel like even with her making a false opinion on it, she's not going to go to jail. She's not going to go to jail. The worst that, think about it. Y'all can say all y'all want that, hey, she needs to go to jail for this. Something needs to go on. The most that she could possibly get is a fine. Yes, she lied to the police about a kidnapping, and she was gone for 48 hours. Surveillance cameras saw her driving on the side of the road with her hazard lights on, and there was no baby in sight. There was no one following her. There was no one in the woods, and they took the police on a wild goose chase. Yeah, but at the end of the day, the only way that she can get charged is if her parents knew that she was missing the whole time. Now, here's the thing. Her parents got on the Today Show and had an exclusive interview on the Today Show. And you could just tell by the dad's facial body language that he knows what's going on. He knew exactly what was going on throughout this entire thing, while the mama was just talking for basically the whole interview. He didn't say basically not one thing the entire interview. The entire interview didn't say nothing. He was just shaking his head. He was just like, damn, like he knows what's going on. So for the whole world to see how the dad is feeling, it's like, to us, in our opinion, we already know that they think that they have something to do with it. And I feel like they have something to do with it most definitely, because how the hell are you just going to go missing for 48 hours and all of this was a hoax? Parents had to have known something about it, or they must have been a part of it. So with that in mind, and you know, there's over 2,100 missing report cases a day in the U.S. Some of them are false, but the fact that this case, it lasted over 48 hours, people are actually thinking like, hey, she's going missing, and the entire thing was a hoax. She committed theft. She stole from her job. It got to the point to where her job had to fire her, not only for that, but the fact that she got all of that attention. And you know, with jobs, they don't want all of that attention to their job, so they had to have fired her. And I'm just sitting here, and I'm just like, dog, how the hell? There's no way possible that you can just fake a kidnapping for 48 hours. Like, that's where I'm stuck on. And then the fact that she made all of these Safari searches on how to do this, the movie Taken, just all of these weird searches that will strike a police officer's attention. Like, is this really real? Is this really a real kidnapping, or is this just a fake kidnapping? So obviously, Carlee Russell has not spoken on the situation. Her defense attorney has spoken confirming that it is a hoax, and her parents have spoken to NBC exclusive, like I told you on the Today Show. But obviously, Carlee Russell cannot say anything unless she'll get crucified for the whole thing. Another thing that could have potentially happened, mental health. Mental health is real to people. Maybe even to y'all that are watching this. Everybody is going through something mentally. So maybe something mentally was going on in the family, to maybe, not even just in the family, maybe at her job, or something was going on in her life. She was just stressing, maybe to the point to where in her eyes she felt as though it was right for her to go missing for over 48 hours. But still, you just got to think law-wise. Like, you going missing for 48 hours and then claiming that you got kidnapped twice, then escaped and ran home, searched up all of these things on basically how to get away with this. Something mentally is wrong with you. And I just feel like with all of these cases of kidnappings going on in the world, I bet the people who actually have real kidnappings reports, I know that they're just sitting here and are just mad at her, because it's like, why would you fake a kidnapping knowing that there are other black women, white women, Asian women, all these different races that are going missing every single day? Some are not even solved till this day. There's probably some from all the way in 1980, 2000, 2010 that have not been solved. So with that in mind, you're going missing for all of this time, and come to find out it's a hoax. People are going to be upset about it. And I'm here to tell you first, I'm upset about it, because you got to think there are other cases out there that have not been solved. And the fact that you made all of this up, there has to be something mentally wrong with you. Now, does she deserve jail time? I don't know. I don't think she deserves jail time. I don't even think you could give her jail time for what? Just making a false kidnapping report? I don't think you could just give her jail time for it, because there's really not much. You can't give her 3 months for making a false report on a kidnapping. The most that she could possibly get is either a fine or no jail time. I personally don't believe that there's any way possible that she could get jail time unless her parents was involved. If her parents was involved, then potentially everybody in the family could maybe get some jail time. But I think personally, I just don't see it happening. And that's going to strike everybody that have been paying attention to this case, because they feel as though, hey, let's say if it was their daughter and they were actually missing and their daughter hasn't been found, but come to find out there's another case out here, aka Carlee Russell, and she was missing, but come to find out she wasn't missing the whole entire time. The people are going to be mad at that, because they actually have someone in their family that actually went missing and potentially was never found at all. So I could see people's frustration. Like I said, this is national news. This has struck the attention of NBC News, CBS News, every national news out there, because of the twisted turns of the story that has been going on. And like I said, I don't think that she'll get any jail time for it. Like I said, they're still trying to plot out what happened before she ended up going missing, but they already have everything that happened after she went missing. And the only thing that they have before was the 911 call, her on surveillance footage, driving on the side of the road with her hazard lights on, potentially seeing a kid when there wasn't no kid, and her stealing from the spot at her job. So I feel like with that, it's the only way. It's going to be hard for them to figure out things leading up to it. It's going to be hard. They can find out everything after, but before it's going to be a little bit harder for them to find out, but they'll find out about it and it'll come out. It'll most definitely come out. But do I think she'll get any jail time? Nah. I'm just mad at the fact that it's over 2,100 cases of kidnappings in the U.S. every single day. Every single day. Only 800 of them are false cases, but that gives you the rest of the 1,300 that are actually real cases out there. So the fact that there are so many real cases out there, and the fact that she was one of them that got all of this national attention because it was a fake kidnapping is going to be taken in a bad way by the public. So like I said, Hoover, Alabama are trying to figure out the steps leading up to her kidnapping, but I just feel like all of this was unnecessary. It was unnecessary, but I just feel like mental health it's just mental health. Mental health is real, so maybe she was stressing about something. Maybe she got into it with her parents, or something was going on and she wasn't in her right state of mind, obviously, when she went missing. And I'm going to just leave it at that. So I really hope that Carlee Russell can get some help and just get better mentally, so that way something like this doesn't happen again. Just doesn't happen again. Because what if she does end up going missing? If she does, like, real deal go missing? Is it the fact that she's Carlee Russell? Oh, back then she faked a whole kidnapping. I'm not going to take this serious. But what if she actually is missing? You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, I just feel like she just needs to be in the right mental space, get evaluated, which is what she is doing right now. And I feel like once all of that happens, I don't think she'll speak out, but we'll gather more news from the defense and the police about what actually happened and what was going through her head at the time that she went missing.